All right. I'm telling you, what a day, what a day, what a day thus far. It is August the 26th, 2025. Good morning and grand risings to all. We are in the countdown of this month of August. This is a great day to be alive. I'm telling you, as we're ending this month, this eighth month has truly been truly to what is true to what it is stated. Double doors, double blessings. God has done just what he said he would do. I'm just overwhelmed by how God has continued to do what he said he's going to do. I'm encouraging all of you not to miss what God has in your life. I just want to say that. And as we're talking today about walking in your freedom, we want to break that down this week. As you can see, I was on the program for Apostle Stephen Davis, and thanks to Lorraine Adams, who got me my I Am the One t-shirt, which you may not see all of it, but that's what it is. I'm so grateful to wear it. I was a part of their broadcast, I Am the One segment, and he allowed me to host his program while he is on an assignment in South Africa. And so I was grateful for that. But I want to get right into what I'm talking about today, walking in your freedom. Walking in freedom is very important. I need for you to understand that you're tired of walking bound and with your head hung down and allowing the adversary to rob you from being who you are in your true identity. I promise you that, as I was saying to the church, we're going to be free. We're going to do and walk in what God has given us. And that's important for all of us. And that's all I can see. I have some challenges that may come, but I am going to go forth in it. That's all there is to it. Point blank. End of discussion. I'm always telling people that. End of discussion. That's it. That's where we're going. And so I'm so grateful that God is moving on our behalf, and I'm so glad that God is doing things for you. We're going to talk about today this part. It's like stepping into your identity. We talked about this. This is not a suggestion. It's a summons. It's not a whisper. It is indeed a war cry. I want to say good morning, grand rising to all of you once again. And you know I got to say this because it's important. The moment you step in is what I want to cover today. The moment you step in, you realize you've been circling the mountain long enough in certain areas. We talked about that. Those of you who have been up to this mountain, you know this is familiar to you. You've danced around destiny, you delayed obedience, and disguise your calling under layers of fear and false humility. But today, heaven is not asking, it's commanding that you step in to who God has called you to be. Can I get some people to say amen to that? All right, for Sharon Fritz and Terrence, Salt Lake City, Utah. And so he's commanding us to do it. Now, it's sometimes a little rough. It can get a little rocky. But I want you to know it is possible. These are possibilities. And I don't really talk to people when they act like they don't know what they're doing. Or, I know I should do better, but, I got this to do and that. But when you want to do something, you do it. That's what I'm looking at. I watch what people are doing with their life. If they're in business and they know they got to get their business together, they're moving in that. And when I watch how they want to go, if they're going on a trip, they're going on their trip. Hey, I don't have nothing against it, no judgment from me, but I'm just saying, what you love, you're going to feed. Simple. It happens. So he wants you to step in who you're called to be. This is not a season to rehearse your wounds. And we usually do that when we're at a place of, I'll use that as my crutch. This is a season to release your roar. I mean, we were talking about that in our church on Sunday, to release your roar. Oh, yeah. Got to take me a little swallow. It's so hot. I got to make sure I do what I did last week. Oh, my God. Black cherry almond, Ooh. I had to give you a little tune of that, okay? So it is so good to know that God is speaking to us. Again, I have to say this again and again till it gets real in somebody's spirit, because this happens to us over and over again. You're not what happened to you. Say it. I'm not what happened to me. You're not the echo of rejection. Say that. I'm not the echo of rejection. You're not the residue of trauma. Say it. I'm not the residue of trauma. But you are the image of the liberator, the voice of breakthrough, and the carrier of fire. That's who you are. That's it. And today the Spirit of God is issuing a divine eruption in your soul, and you know it. You know it. You know it. Eruption in your soul. A holy confirmation. Okay? And a confrontation. All right? A prophetic push he's giving you. And a supernatural shift. Let's talk about that. Let's look at that. That's what's happening. And if you know that's what's happening, you got to move in it. You got to move in it. Oh, you got to move in it. You got to move in it. You got to step into that identity. You got to step into your authority. You got to step into the scroll of what God has been waiting for you to say yes to. The role that you're going to take on. The lead that you're going to take. Because when you step in it, change, oh God, the chains break behind you. The mantles fall upon you, people, and generations shift through you. Now, did you get that? The generations shift through you. This is not just a moment, but this is your movement. Did you get it? This is not just your moment. This is your movement. You're going to have moments throughout your life, but this is a movement. And movements don't come often. Not the one you're in. Oh yeah, I'm ready today. I'm ready. I'm ready. Oh my God. Ooh. So, that's what's happening. I need for you to catch this. You got to lift your hands. You got to lay hands on your heart and declare it with fire. God is shifting me to walk and stir up my true identity of who I am, that I can walk in that. We've hid out behind the scar tissues. Oh man. That's what's happening. Oh God. Woo. I'm just saying. We walk for everybody else. We walked in everybody else's freedom. We walked with everybody else's word, but you need to walk on the word that God has given you. Right now, someone is sitting there going, I'm listening to everybody else. I don't even know which way to turn. But what did God give you to do? Everybody else is crying out for your strength. Sisters, brothers, wives, husbands, children, mothers, fathers, but you haven't centered yourself yet. So you don't even know when you're hearing for others what God is really saying, because you're moving by everybody else's emergencies and their emotional stress that they're under. Now, has anybody ever lived that? I know I have. I'm putting a number 1 up because it's a 0 and a 1. Because 0 is about me to get myself together, but I didn't get myself together because I was taking number 1 of somebody else's situation and made it mine. Their cry, their emergency, their emotional trauma, and moving according to what they had going on in their lives. That took me away from centering myself to understand what God was saying to me about handling some things. So I step into my identity, and I silence every counterfeit voice, and I break the agreement with delay. I receive the scroll with my name on it and my mantle, and I'm not waiting. I am walking. I'm not hiding. I am rising, and I'm not surviving. I'm stepping into my freedom. That's what I got to say to myself every day. Somebody put in that 01. You got it. I see you got it. All right, Pamela and Jetta. Wow. We got to hit it in. We got to hit it like that. Because what happens is, I don't know about you, the noise gets in our ear with everybody else's emergency, and you begin to do like this, and you go like this, and you start doing like this because you don't know what you're doing. And it becomes overwhelming because you never learn for a long time how to separate yourself to really hear from God. And what it really proves to us, if you tell the truth, I'm gonna see how many of us can tell the truth. What it does to us, it really shows us how many times we have really left our assignment to ourselves. The assignment of ourselves, which was really to listen for God to speak to us, to run to the aids of others, and never get a complete sentence from God. Never get the completeness of what God has for us. So if God wanted to tell us how to manage and navigate with someone who may have an emergency or some type of emotional breakdown, we never got it because we left to go to their aid, and we all messed up and we all jacked up, and what we had was now going to lack, and then we said, God, I don't know what went wrong. The devil got in it. No, we got in it. I'm going to raise my hand because I'm one of those people that have allowed that to happen. Hey, Elder Mims, and I know it's right. Did I have a laugh with you? I laughed sometime after I got off the phone with you, Elder Mims. I'm letting you know that I still was laughing. So when I step into my identity, I silence the counterfeit voices. The only voice I want to hear is the one that God has for me. That's different. Because when I hear that, I can break the agreement with delay. Because now I'm on delay because I got everybody else's voice in my head. I can't even hear properly. I had a plan on how I'm getting ready to deal with my debt. I have a plan on how I'm going to deal with, bringing myself up to par. And here comes something else. And I ran to the emergency if there's something else because I never sought the Lord on how now I can deal with that. And if I should take myself out of what I'm doing here to go manage something somewhere else. And if so, how do I do it that it will not affect the plan that he's given me? And if the plan is shifting, show me how to move with the movement of the shift. I know some people getting mad with me right now. Oh, I can feel the darts coming. Throw them. I just want you to have that little bit to think about. So it doesn't matter because I'm breaking up. I break the agreement with delay. I break the agreement with delay because I remember a long time ago, your emergency is not always my emergency. So what I have to do is I have to give me the chance to, wade through this a little bit. And it doesn't mean that you're leaving people alone because see what happens is then people say, oh, now you can't help me. Oh, now you can't do this for me. And I've been there for you. Every time you turn around, I was there for you. No. Allow me. Don't give me the guilt trip. And I tell people that in a heartbeat now. I don't even care. Don't give me the guilt trip. Allow me the chance to get it together. It doesn't mean I'm not going to do anything. It means I need to regroup because I have to see how this is going to work. I pray this is helping somebody right here. Because I have to remember, I'm on a time schedule too. I have somewhere to be also. and how this is going to affect where I'm going. See how many people, when I go back, I got to read this here. And if I tell you no, I may not be able to do it now. It doesn't mean about a week or two, I may not be able to help then. But I got to get through what I need to get through in order to make some things happen. Or later, the Lord will remind me, I had it set for you, but you never came back to consult with me before you made the next move. So you could have had freedom when you went to do it, and you would have known how to work around it and still get this done at the same time. Anybody that understands exactly what I'm saying, put a 0 there. That's because this is concerning you right now, and you walking in your freedom. So yeah, I got to break up with that. I made an agreement to break the agreement with delay. I received the scroll and my name and the mantle, and I'm not waiting any longer, because the longer I put off for somebody else what I need to do for me, that's it. And I'm not hiding. Because every time I don't fulfill what God has given me to do, guess what I end up doing? I start hiding because I know what I should have done, and now I'm hiding out from God when I know I can't hide from him anyway. I start hiding out from God, and even the people of God that know that I should have been somewhere else, and I'm not there because it was my fault. Anybody know that thing called my fault? That's it. I'm not blaming anybody else. It's mine. But I'm not going to live there now. You're not living there, but you realize it's yours. But my little sister, my brother, they went broke, and I had to get them this. Did you really, or did you need to wait a minute and then get your stuff straight and then reach out to help them? Ooh, okay. So I have to remember, I'm not hiding, but I am rising. And the way God will give you the wisdom to handle it will be good. Boy, oh boy. And sometimes I just say, hey, this was mine. I did it. But at the same time, I said, now that I know I did it, I can change it by saying, now let me see what I can do to fix it. So what do I do to fix it? I know I'm rising from this. And I'm not surviving. I'm stepping into my freedom. I took ownership and I'm going on. And I'm not going to let you condemn me for it. Oh, yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Somebody say, yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Yes. Oh, my God. Yes. I'm done. I'm done with it when I say that. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, my God. I am just so... All I know is that we serve a mighty God. A mighty God. And when we look at this, we also know, you come into a place like this. I like this part here. The moment you stop waiting and start walking, something happens. All right? Can we deal with that? The moment you stop waiting and start walking, something happens. So, again, I have to say it again. So you know you've been circling the same mountain of insecurity. You've been rehearsing the same excuses. You've been waiting for permission to become what heaven already declared. Don't get me started on this one because I got to get ready to get out of here in a minute, though. But listen to this. That part, you've been waiting for permission to become what heaven already declared. You ever seen people I got to do this. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I know you don't like my bell. I'm gonna start naming. Sonia told me she don't like my bell, y'all. She told me she'd be glad when they hide my bell. I told them to tell her name on here. Listen, you ever met people, and you may be one of them, so you're gonna love what I'm gonna say. You can't move until you got about 50,000 people telling you the same thing. Heaven declared it, a major prophetic person declared it, a minor person declared it, the baby declared it. And you sit there, oh, I just need to hear the Lord declare that I'm supposed to make a pie. How many times do you need somebody to tell you to make a pie? I have never met people, so many people that play, I call it the church game. They know what God has spoken. Come on, people. I want to see how many people are going to agree with me on this. Yeah, I'm going to laugh. Yes. I'm going to laugh. The whole time, they could have been moving. When you start moving, something happens. So you sitting there waiting on permission to become what heaven has already declared. Okay? I have people say, and I was waiting on the Lord. And I said, come on, stop playing with me. You already know what the Lord has spoke to you. I've had it with people. Thank you, Clever. You ready? You already know. First, you complain about nobody recognizes it. Then, when somebody sit there, you want to look all confirmed looking, so the prophet can come to you and say, "Woman of God, man of God, child of God, okay, God." God has called you so the world can hear it. Then you feel like that's your confirmation because you want everybody to know that somebody spoke over your life. Sometimes that's the worst. Just so they can tell you to make a pie. Look, you already know what God has given you permission to do. There are times he confirms it, but when you know it, you start moving in it and something will happen. Today, this is not a suggestion. This is a summons. This is not your whisper. It's a war cry. How long are you going to sit there waiting on somebody to tell you, oh. And then some of you do need confirmation. You move on everything. He said, go to the right. You go to the right, and to the right, and to the right, and to the right. You don't know how to take it step by step. You step into your identity. You step into your scroll. You step into the name of God that God has given you for what you need to do. Okay? Because when you step in, I want to make it clear. I got to get through this. Oh, God, help me. When you step into your identity and you step into your scroll of what God is releasing from heaven to you into your name, hell trembles and heaven rejoices and history shifts because you're causing history to have to watch out because you're about to make it. You're the one that's going to make history. Oh, God. Think about that. Think about it. Oh. Think about it. Identity is a place you step into, not just a concept you learn. Genesis 12, verses 1 and 2, God said to Abraham, go to a land and I will show you. Identity requires a movement. It requires movement, people. Oh my God, you don't discover identity by saying where you were wounded. You step into it by walking where you are called. Let me ask you a question. Where have you stayed too long? And what part of your identity have you delayed stepping into? And a delayed history, let me tell you something. I want you to take your time right now while you're doing that and thinking, hit that like button, everybody. Start hitting that like button because my producer's going to want to know, show me how many people hitting that like button and sharing this page right now. Like, Facebook and YouTube. Hit that like button, hit that like button, hit that like button. I can tell you, when I was going through with my church, he said for I think 2 years, we were going to do in-house. I know the first year and the second year. That third year, I stayed too long. I should have really came out on the second year. I should have started coming out on the second year. I know the first year he told us that, definitely. The second year I should have started coming out. The third year I should have come out. I stayed too long. And the identity was delayed that I was supposed to step into, which delayed history because I wasn't in the right place, which delayed movement. I wasn't in the right place. And I'm telling you the truth. Now, I didn't recognize that then. I recognized it, of course, as I moved out into things later. Wow. That's a lot. There you go. There you go. And so it means a lot to know that. Wow. That's what I'm asking you. What did you stay too long in? Sometimes we stayed in relationships too long. Held on to people that never wanted to hold on to us. You know, some friends we held on to, they didn't really want you to be their friend. You were a good vehicle. And I'll never forget, my mother said to me, you may have made them your best friend, but they never made you theirs. You said they were your best friend. They never called you their best friend. That was a hard lesson. A very hard lesson. And I think some of us have had to learn it, and it caused us a little bit of pain, but we stayed too long. Sometimes we thought that somebody was for us, wasn't for us. I was sharing with someone just the other day, one of the deacons, and he was saying, I said, there was a girl I wanted to marry. She was beautiful, very nice, well-mannered. My sister would be cracking up right now. And she was going to one church. I was going to Deliverance, and and she was going to a holiness church. And she said, what was my intentions with her? And I said, I want to marry you. She said, well, let me tell you, the first thing is that if you plan, her mother loved me, her dad, her brother. She said, well, if you plan to marry me, you have to join my church. I said, I'm not joining your church. She said, well, I'm not coming to yours. I said, well, that's fine. And she just looked at me. I said, that's fine. Whenever she had a program, I'd go to her program, and I would have continued that. She said, what about our children? I said, well, we're both saved. It doesn't matter if they go to church with you or they go with me, because we can share our relationship with Christ with them, or they can come with me sometime, they can go with you sometime, because they're in a Christian household. I said, but that doesn't bother me. And she kept going, well, my pastor said you need to be at my church. I said, well, no, I'm not going to come. Um, I think your church is nice. She was in an organization. I said, no, but that's not for me. And I said, but it's good for you, and I would not take you from your church. You love it. You work there. You got a lot of promotions there. You're doing very good. You're going up the ranks there. That's your church you grew up in. I'll be right here. And she said, well, you know, she was giving me all the bad things she thought about my church. I said, it doesn't matter. That's where I'm going to be. I said, because your church is not that good either. No church is 100%. And so I was very even keeled on it. And I was willing to make the sacrifice as far as being able to find the middle ground that we could work together and all of that stuff. And I stayed in that relationship for a little time. And finally she said, well, we just can't do this. If we're going to get married, you're going to definitely have to come over to my church. And she put her foot down and she said, and that's it. I said, well, I'm just not going to come. I didn't have to pray about it. I didn't have to pray. I didn't have to pray about it. I didn't have to do anything. I said, no, that's not going to be it. And I did truly love her though. And she said, well, when I walk out, I'm not going to look back. I said, that's all right. You don't have to walk out. I went to the car and I got in my car. I took off that road and I didn't look back. Now, I'm glad to say she is a fine evangelist, has a church in the city, and doing well. She's got a beautiful church in the city and doing well. And I'm proud that she did marry somebody who came to her church, got saved, and was in her and stayed with the church, that the organization that she's in. And I'm very proud of her. But my freedom was, it didn't matter for me that we went to two different churches or that but I knew my destiny was different. It had a different tone to it. And then she said, you really did well. I said, thank you. I told her she really did well. We saw each other later, and we probably both were glad that we went to do what God had called us to do, but I stayed in a relationship too long. That was one of the things I had to look at. I stayed in it too long. I had friendships that I was in too long. It wasn't working. But I was like, well, you're supposed to make it work. You're supposed to, when you're friends, you just stay in. But I stayed in too long. And the thing that happened was it got worse instead of getting better. Because when you stay in something too long, it can become soured. So you learn from that, church. So I gave you like good examples of what I did church-wise, what I did in relationships. I told you about the girl I loved, went on Penn Station, fell on my knees and told her I loved her. She never looked back. So relationships, what have you been in so long that it caused you to delay where you were supposed to be? It was still a good relationship for me because it didn't hinder where I was going somewhat. My heart was broken, but I knew I just wanted to do what God had given me to do. And it was just one of those things. And even with friendships, I just didn't understand friendships because I had to learn from them. Yeah. God speaks identity before you prove anything. Okay, that's what he does. I always say that. I always say that. So the enemy attacks your identity first. He's going to always do that. Who are you? What are you doing? Where did you come from? You say that God called you to do what? Well, I'm telling you, before we end this broadcast, God has called and put his hands on your life, and he's blessed you with unmeasurable gifts and talents and skills and anointings on your life to do great and mighty exploits in him. And he wants you to walk in your freedom, not be boxed in. I've had many people to try to box me in to what they felt I should do. And I almost allowed that. We all can fall prey to that. But today, as you're going to walk in your freedom, you're going to release yourself from being boxed in. You're going to release yourself from all of those things. Some people, you allow yourself to lie to yourself. Yeah. Because instead of you saying, okay, I really need to get myself together, you just lie to yourself and let yourself just go whichever way the wind blow you. That day is over. That day is over. Some of you are in control of other people. If they say jump, you say how high. If they say move, you say when. They say go, you say where. But that day's got to be over. And yes, you have to use wisdom when you're dealing with people who have basically controlled almost everything that you've done indirectly or manipulated you through the whole process. Wow, it got real quiet. That has happened. It has happened to all of us if we tell the truth. Some of us have done just better and have gotten away from it and made up our minds that we won't let it happen. So when we talk about walking in our true identity, we have to deal with those things. We have to deal with it and say, okay, I'm here for you, but I'm not here to fight that type of a battle. And know how to raise your hand and say, that's for you, not for me. This is where we have to just say, let's stop here. We're not going to fall out over something like that. I'm telling you, those are the things we have to work toward. It makes a big difference. I'm sharing it with you. And you live a better life. You're able to pray for people that you know they can be despisefully misusing you, or however it goes. Despitefully misusing you. That whole thing. You know it, but you don't let it get you. You say, God, I know you got it. You can pray differently, and I know it's true. Even when they have hidden agendas, it really, you'll get it, you'll get upset, and then you start going, as you get through, you say, nope, it's not worth all of that. It's not worth the peace that you gained. It's not the steps that you made and the territory that you gained to lose all that territory for those words that they give out. And then why fight when God has already given you a victory? Wow. That's powerful right there. Because you do have purpose. That's right, Reed. You do have purpose. But are you following what I'm saying here? If you know you come from victory, you start from victory, and you have to develop that mindset. And when you come to a place, because all of us meet people all the time. We're always around people, and there's some people that will really, they have a different mindset when they see you moving forward. And you begin to walk in your true identity for the right reasons. Not because you try to prove to somebody, I am who I am. It makes a difference. It makes a difference in how you handle yourself, how you show forth love, and how you're able to move in spite of everything else going on around you. I'm so serious. This is a very powerful word today, and it should come alive in you as you're walking in your freedom and you take it on your identity, the true identity of you. And walking in that freedom means allowing yourself to wake up and get some things together. What have you stayed in too long? What have you stewed in? What anger do you have? Just like boiling or simmering on a back pot on low heat. It's been there too long. That's what I'm saying. I had to go through it and find some of that stuff that's been simmering people. Sometimes it was little bits of hatred that you didn't know was there. Despisement. See? And pull it off the burner. Throw it in the toilet. Flush it. It was just a little bit. It was on the back burner. On low. It was in the warmer. Get rid of it. This has got to make sense to you. See what I'm saying about that identity and the true you? Because as I was speaking, and some of you said, oh God, that's so true. Leave a bad taste in your mouth. Make your stomach upset. I need you to hit that like button now. Hit that like button for me. Share this page with as many people as you can. Would you do that for me? And tell the Lord thank you. Tell the Lord thank you for this opportunity. I felt freedom. Something broke for some people just now. It broke. It truly, it lifted. It was like, yeah, Bishop. Yeah. And that I'm going to get you back kind of spirit. It was like, oh, now I got to just do this. No, it was like, Lord, I just release it in your hands. That's the kind of spirit I'm talking about. I just want to release it in your hands. That's it. I don't have to go talk about it. I ain't got to go tell somebody off. It's just, I'm releasing it to your hands. That's it. And that's all you want to do is I just release it in your hands. And I free myself up right here so I can walk freely. I release it in your hands. And all day today, when they try to come, you say, nope, I'm releasing it into your hands, God. When somebody comes to try to discuss that to you, or if they know, or they try to come up and try to discuss it and make it where it's ugly for you, you say, no, I'm not going to do that. No, we're not going to do that. Nope. I'm just going to release it into your hands. And if we can have a decent discussion and don't have no arguing with it, no, we're not. I don't want to do that. Because I'm going to rest. I'm going to preserve my peace. I want better things for my life and your life too. I felt that. I feel it on the line. I wonder, is there anybody else that feels this other than me? If so, can you just respond with a 22, the power of agreement? That means that God is manifesting something here today. There's a manifestation of what has been going on. I got the 2 and the 2. I put it up for myself. It means that it's something easy to release. Yeah, there's an easy release happening. Oh God. Ooh, I just feel it. I can't explain it. It's just like a lifting, something lifted. You know, and for somebody it lifted, it had a little fear to it. It's like you don't know what it's like. Okay, am I supposed to be afraid of what's going to take place next? No. Just enjoy God lifting it. It has no control over you. It has no control. Ooh. I remember that so closely. You have to know who you are. Finally, I say to you, I remember going to church, and we were all going to church, all of us. And this is during the time, Mims, you probably would remember how that used to happen. And the pastor would come and prophesy everybody who was getting married. And he had prophesied to about 5 people. And one of the girls was in the church, and he said, I see you, young lady. You're about to marry this young man, and he has about two jobs and a half. And so I was just sitting there, and he's just about ready to get married now, and he's been around you and all of this stuff. And he would do that. He would put people together, and he said, and he has lives in a house, and the house has got like aluminum siding. And she said, she was looking at me. I said, I live in an apartment building, and it's bricks, and I live on a brick house with an apartment building with brick. Brick fronts. I had the 2.5 jobs, but I wasn't marrying her because I knew who I was, and I knew I wasn't marrying her. And I knew who I was. So I'm saying that to you sometimes. You can allow yourself to be in a place that when you look around, everybody knows what you're supposed to do but you. But know for yourself how God has called you. So funny to me. And she said, I said, I live in a brick house. I live in a brick apartment building. And it's brick all the way around it. And I got up. I don't know if Mims is still on here, but if he is, I know he got to remember when they used to prophesy to us that we were going to get married. And so, oh, that's the old church, y'all don't know. And so, she was getting ready to tap my shoulders, and everybody was turning and jumping for it, and they were looking at me. I said, I live in a brick apartment building. Oh, man, I just want to make y'all laugh, that's all. But walk in your freedom, people. I pray for you all that's married, that God will give you freedom in your marriage with your children and with your home, on your jobs, that you have time for each other, that you'll be able to build a great relationship and enjoy one another. I pray for you that are in business, that you have time to build your business and be able to still have time for yourselves. I pray for you in ministry that you have time for yourselves and your ministry and your family. Okay? I pray for all those things to happen. So today, won't you sow your seed? Oh my God. That was so funny for me. It was funny for me, y'all. Oh God. So I say to you, as I get ready, I'm into this broadcast, won't you sow your seed today? A seed that will bless others, and you truly will bless the kingdom of God. If everyone, again, everyone means everyone, put $10 in your hand, that would take us a long way to bless others, all of us, and that means everyone on both sides. I tell you, I'm so glad I was on. I'm the one. I still got that laughter from I Am the One broadcast. Is with me in the absence of Apostle Stephen Davis. Thanking God that he allowed me to come in and host his broadcast today. And then to you all that are joining me here for Spiritual Warriors Table. I'm so grateful for all of you that have joined me today. But won't you sow your seed, people? That would bless all of us to be able to do the work that God has called us to do into the ministry. As you're doing so, I'm grateful, and heaven will be grateful. It helps you to walk out your true identity. Oh, gosh. Whew. I'm so grateful we can laugh. That thing just makes me laugh. They told me that so many times. But I had a buddy, he said, y'all going to work ministry together. Y'all going to be working ministry for years and years and years. I never said nothing. My friend left, he said, I ain't going in ministry. I'm going back out and do my band. I said, well, whatever he said, you never know. My friend never came into ministry. But I said, you never know that his life is not over. He may come in before you know it. But we used to laugh about that thing all the time. I'm just going to encourage you. It's just to know who you are. Know who you are. Walk in your freedom. Walk in what you know God has called you to do for his glory. And it will bless you all the way around. That's all I want to talk about, walking in your freedom. Walking in your freedom. Stop lying to yourself. Stop lying to others about yourself. Okay? Just allow God to mold you, make you, that you can grow into being all that God wants you to be. And trust me, you're mighty. You are a mighty warrior. You are a mighty person in him. And yes, I'm going to laugh because I laugh at the things that I know that I've come through. Don't think I'm always laughing at you. I'm thinking about some of the dumb, idiotic things that I've done in my lifetime. And that's why I can share with you, don't make those same dumb mistakes that I've made. I always tell people, you can't help stupid, but you can look at dumb and try to give it a little support. Okay, so have a blessed day, everybody. Look forward to you sharing your gift with us that we may do greater things. Come back tomorrow morning, right back here for Spiritual Warriors Table, and get up and wash your face, brush your teeth, rinse your mouth out, and comb your hair all the way out, and have a blessed day on purpose. Bye for now.